Got to, man. Gotta bounce back. Shout out to my homie Keys, Xavier Keys, on the vocals on this. Okay. Honestly, they couldn't stop me if they wanted to. Gotta get up, go out and get it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I've been focused, I'm not hungry. Yo, I'm starving, dude. Grind mode with my team, we making these power moves. Honestly, they couldn't stop me if they wanted to. Gotta get up, go out and get it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I've been focused, I'm not hungry. Yo, I'm starving, dude. In grind mode with my team, we making these power moves. Cause I ain't got no time to be wasting with all this music I'm making. Man, I'm tired of being impatient, so I keep making these moves here with my crew. Vow to myself to always stay true, so I don't care what nobody else do. I know why. Like an erection, bumps in the road, but nah, I ain't stressing. I don't work out, but homie, I'm flexing. Every time I get on the beat and I bless it. Rise and shine, and I never let another come and stop my grind. Cause I grind all night at the gig, no lie. Then it's back in the booth for some overtime. Come on. Nope. Shout out to Miss Alma Ramos. Shout out to Miss B. I said, hey. My mom told me to get them, so I don't care what y'all say. I just keep grinding. Yeah, I stay working, cause it's, you know, I said, that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make y'all mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. I can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. No sleep. Spit heat, killing these tracks, and I'm not gonna stop till I'm up on top where I'm supposed to be. Everywhere I go, I scream SP. We more than a crew, we your family. Working trying to get a couple Grammys, G, have them sitting on top of the mantelpiece. Thank God. Go hard, they just mad cause I'm on my job. But where I'm from is to the ground to starve. Starving, I just can't do it. Not having it, unthinkable. So I turn in and stretch Armstrong, and now I can reach the unreachable. Let's go. Hey, trying to. Yo, I said I can't sit still. I just laugh at y'all haters. Cause, yeah. Hey, mom's told me, so I don't. Let's go, I just keep. Yeah, I stay. Cause it's, you know, I said, that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make you mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. I can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't get what you want. Whatever you dreaming for, you get out there and you get it. You make it happen. Never mind the haters. Real spill. Cause all day, always, get them. Yes sir. I'm grinding. Stay working. Hey, I said that's right. In the lab with a pen and a pad, let's ride. Make it look so easy, don't it make you mad? One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, cause me and my team stay working. One thing I know, one thing is certain. Can't stop, won't stop, on the grind, getting mine, I'm working. Gotta. Yes, sir. Love them.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
That's right. Rock with it. Rock with it. You caught us mid-conversation, but it's all
words,
good.
Yeah.
The time is 8:01 a.m. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. You're listening to Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Live, clap. Ain't no button. Them real people. You just can't see them at home. But here's what you can see. At 8:10, you can see our great guest today. You can also see us a little bit nicer outside. It's a little bit warmer. It's Monday. We hope that you all had a great weekend. Saw a lot of good stuff that took place on First Friday, so shouts out. But today we have educators, we have Aurorans, we have trainers, we have knowledgeable people, and that trail of superlatives leads to ACC of Illinois. How y'all doing?
Hi.
Victoria and Skip. All right. I'm thinking of first when I hear Skip. Know your clap.
Yeah.
I know your clap.
No, for real, it's crazy because the person that gave me that name died last year. RIP to Lamar Lathan, and that was actually his name.
Really?
He spelled his with 2 P's, and we took it off.
Okay.
Kept one, and he told me, carry the name on. It's a legacy, so that's what it is.
Shout out, rest in peace, Lamar.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. All right. So ACC of Illinois, for those who aren't familiar with you, to start off with, who are you guys and what do you do?
So ACC of Illinois, we are approved responsible vendors. We were approved by the state of Illinois to do cannabis education. We were initially approved in 2019, and the renewal was August of 2021, and we were approved again to continue doing cannabis education.
Okay.
So in Illinois, to work in the cannabis industry within 90 days of employment, you must be trained by a responsible vendor. And that's no matter where you're working at in Illinois. If you're a bud tender, if you're a principal officer, one of the owners of the dispensaries, or any craft grow, cultivation, infusion, they all are required to have training.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And then, so how did you both get started in this industry?
Well, I got started roughly almost 7 years ago. It's been 7 years? Yeah, it's been 7 years now. And I started on the West Coast. I started a company with a gentleman named Berwin, IGTM, on the West Coast. And then we came back to Illinois. I was born and raised here in Illinois. I never became a resident of any other state.
Okay, all right. Brought them talents back home. That's good. We appreciate it.
We went out to learn. We took our own money. We didn't have no big companies backing us up or anything. And we went out to educate ourselves. We went to different states to find out their rules and their regulations and how we can get licenses there and what we need to teach people in Illinois to get licensed here in Illinois. And so through that, we started teaching infusion courses and things like that. I'm talking about proper dosage, because a lot of times people are overdosing edibles and making people afraid to have edibles, when if you actually was educated on how to properly prepare the edible, how to properly dose the edible, it can be a really good experience for whoever is utilizing eating the edible.
So, and I think edibles in the state can only have per the state can only have so many milligrams
Correct.
of cannabis. Is that what it is?
That is correct.
10, right?
Well, usually in some of the chocolates and things, they all microdose them like 5 milligrams. The whole pack could be like 100 milligrams, but each square could be like 5 milligrams, depending on what it is that you're actually taking.
Okay. I know y'all at home trying to figure out what we're talking. It's not like Ray Put a sawbuck in the brownies. This is something way different. This is something way different. This is different. It is.
It is. And it's a shocker too. Once you learn how to do it yourself, it really shocks you, because people be like, oh my God, the whole time I've been doing it this way, and there's a better method. Yes, there's a better, cleaner process to making edibles than your old school throw this weed in those brownies and whipping your wrist. That's not how that goes. Or that double boil that's taking 2 to 3 hours to make you some butter and it's all green and crazy looking. That's not the case here.
What I also see though, when it is done professionally, like we're talking about with edibles and everything, the products are getting more and more creative. I mean, they got cupcakes with the icing. You can get hard candies. You can get joints with the hard on the outside, the gusher on the inside. You can get a whole lot of good stuff.
So this is one of...
okay, we're going to get to the book when the camera turn on. We got a book for y'all, too, to watch. We got a book, too.
So we was talking about the hard candy. So I have a recipe in there to teach you how to make hard candy. You can learn how to make your own Jolly Ranchers, your own suckers, sweet potato pie. It's just not your normal brownies and Fruity Pebble thing, you know, infused baked macaroni and cheese with bacon, you know. It's some good stuff.
Good stuff. Really good stuff in that book.
Y'all done put cannabis with soul food?
Oh, yeah, we did. We definitely did. And the sweet potato pies is a hit.
People coming over like, this is the quietest Thanksgiving party ever. What?
It was the most peaceful Thanksgiving.
The time is now 8:06 a.m. If you're just tuning in, we've got ACC of Illinois here with us, Victoria and Skip. Skip, how'd you get started in this great industry?
I was looking for knowledge. I had heard of Victoria's office in my city.
Okay.
It was actually in my neighborhood. I walked in last January, and from that point on, it's been a dual partnership. It's been amazing to work with.
Okay, all right. Before the microphone came on, we were talking about working together, how it is working together here in the city of Aurora, things like that. How has business and getting started been in the city of Aurora? What's that been like?
It's been difficult. And I would say even before the pandemic, we were trying to get the word out to the citizens of Aurora, the residents here, and it was difficult. I went down to several city hall meetings to let them know, hey, we're right here in your city. We want to make sure that Aurora residents benefits from cannabis. You know, before we even had a recreational dispensary here in Aurora, we wanted to make sure Aurora residents benefit from it. And to me, it was difficult trying to spread the word. We had more people coming from Chicago and Matson and all the south suburbs driving an hour away to Aurora, getting educated and actually starting their own cannabis businesses under our leadership than Aurora residents. And so for me, I wanted to make sure I hired only residents from Aurora. So Skip is an Auroran native, been here his entire life. And he brought a set of skills that I thought would, be beneficial. And I wanted to make sure, he can thrive in this industry. And the only way to do that is to bring people under your wing and be willing to, put them in the game.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are not willing to do that.
The rock,
you got to pass the torch.
You do.
You can't hold on to it forever.
Right.
And so, and we see that a lot with our community. And so, you can't be afraid that people are going to pass you up,
right?
And even if they did, a win for them is a win for you automatically,
right?
And so, when it came to the responsible vendors training in 2019, we helped get other people approved to do the exact same thing. We felt like it is enough money for all of us. We know that the state requires this training every year, so there's a residual income. If you have to be trained every year, so every dispensary, if we do a head count of how many employees there are in the stores, how many employees are in the cultivation center, how many transporters out here, there's enough money, but we actually need the support of the municipalities to get the word out.
How tough is the responsible vendor training? How long? What's it like in a nutshell? Not to detail the whole process, but
it's not hard at all. The responsible vendors training is just the laws and rules associated with cannabis. How you can safely consume cannabis. What are you legally allowed to carry?
Right.
No more than 500 milligrams of THC infused in your edibles. No more than 5 grams of concentrate. It's just the laws and the rules that the state of Illinois wants you to know. How to keep children safe. Not to drive with cannabis and, no smoking, whether you're a medical patient or not. You're not allowed to smoke. You're not allowed to transport across state lines. That's the responsible vendors training. It's not like a catch-all phrase, but it's just the laws and rules associated with cannabis.
Gotcha. The time is 8:10 a.m. Good morning, all of you wonderful people. Yeah, we on camera. Hit them up with the wave. Yes, that's right. ACC of Illinois. Want to say real quick a shout out and give a congratulations to our friends of Document the Abuse, Anna Sierra's Anna's Custom Treats, and Monica right there. You saw that? That was so official, wasn't it?
That was a great pass.
That was. Good looking out. And Studio Nafisa for their great event that they held First Friday on Friday at 1 East Benton. So shouts out to all of you guys. We have the artist bio as well of the artists that participated. We will give them a shout out a little bit later. The time is 8:11 a.m. Okay. So here's the thing. You mentioned that it was difficult to establish yourselves initially here in the city. Is that because, and this is an opinion question, is that because of how people still perceive cannabis? And does cannabis still have that perception? Is it still the devil's oregano?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. People are still dealing with the negative connotations of cannabis. And in Illinois, they look at cannabis like a small issue to deal with. When it's a really, really big issue when we see, families that has been, affected by the war on drugs and other people making millions of dollars from it. And so in Aurora, to me, they were looking at it like it was not a big deal, but this is a big deal.
Yeah, it's so big that the law was changed.
Correct.
To make right, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that that'll ever go away?
Over time, yes.
Okay.
I think so.
And here's the reason why I asked that question. So I have been fortunate enough to work with like a lot of veterans. As a veteran, these people are older. Some of them are disabled in bad condition, and cannabis has been suggested to large amounts of them that this will help you in your pain, and it can help you. A lot of them still see it, even though it will help them. They would rather take Tylenol. They'd rather go to physical therapy for hours on end than use cannabis because of just the perception that it still has. And I'd like to see it go away so people can stop living in pain. There's people living in chronic pain.
Sure.
Well, it's still people living in fear too.
Right.
It's not just pain, and especially in the African American community. A lot of people in our community are still afraid of even consuming it or what people would think of them if they were consuming it. I had a family member that had a rotator cuff surgery, and they never consumed cannabis, and we were trying to convince them to give it a try, and they was like, "You're trying to kill me." I'm like, what? No.
Right.
No, that's not the case.
With one joint?
Right.
I was trying to get her topicals.
Sure,
I was trying to give her edibles. I wasn't even trying to get her to actually smoke it. And so that's another thing with cannabis. So many people look at it as just smoking weed and getting high, and that's not the case, I was not a cannabis consumer. I used to use the cream. The topical was a 50-50 Synergy cream that I used to purchase for my lower extremities. Mm-hmm. And I used to rub it on. I used to wake up every day in agony and pain every single day. And I started using that cream, and eventually I was able to not have to take anything. I don't even have a lot of the pain anymore. I ended up being immune to pain. And so a lot of people do this because they're embarrassed to give it a try. They worried about what people will say, and the smell. But and then the topical didn't even have a smell. It smelled like Vicks. It did not smell like
we
cannabis.
Grew up on Vicks.
Okay, all of us.
my mom is watching the show. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, we know all about Vicks. Just lay down and
put some Vicks on it. Put the hot towel wrap it around your neck. Put the hoodie on.
Yep. For my Latino people, Vicks and Pozole or something. That's all you need. Go to sleep. Okay. Bianca Camargo is here. Good morning to you, Judge. Berwin Tompkins Jr., good morning. Saul Ortiz, good morning to you as well. Dan Barrero, Anna Sierra of Anna's Custom Treats. Cruz Ocho is here. Good morning. And we had a shout out to Justin Wise as well. Shout out to Cruz and Justin Wise.
King Bone, too.
Shout out to King Bone, too.
Can't forget my dog.
Yeah, King Bone. He's Yeah, that was a good episode we had with him. Feels good to be here this Monday morning. Sure. Monica, how you doing?
I'm great.
Good. All right. So the time is 8:16. Monica, if you'd be so kind, take us to a brief commercial. Hit us with like 3 joints and let the world know what is happening in Aurora.
All right, good morning. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories. 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. This Wednesday, State Representative Stephanie Kifowit, Alderwoman Patty Smith, and VNA Healthcare are hosting a vaccine clinic taking place at the Eola Road branch of the Aurora Public Library. This event will take place from 2 to 6 p.m. And registration is recommended. And I'll be sharing that registration link with you all in our chat. Our friends at River Edge Park are hiring for the upcoming summer concert season. Have fun, chill outdoors, and get paid, all in a day's work. Virtual job fairs will be taking place Tuesday, February 8th, Thursday the 10th, and Tuesday the 15th from 3:30 to 8 p.m. on each day. Many positions are available, such as parking lot attendant, bar pack, and gatekeeper. All positions require weekend availability and are part-time. Do you have a young person at home playing Madden and eating potato chips all day? Well, if they need something to do, parents, let's get them a job. For more information, call 630-723-2489 and let them know you heard about it on Good Morning Aurora.
Right. Get young people a job, and to show your appreciation, send their very first check here to 5 East Downer Place Sweet Tea. Teach them the value of money by giving away their very first check. The time is.
I like that.
I like that. The time is 8:18. Now, my dad taught me some incredible lessons as a young man. Minimum wage when I was working my first job was like $5.75. My dad was making me pay rent after like the age of 18. He was like, yeah, you're going to have to chip in for that. The water bill used to be this, that, and the other. You taking them Hollywood showers and all that.
Hollywood showers.
Yeah, Hollywood showers. Just you in there just soaking it up. Okay, so we have upcoming training dates.
Yes.
I want to read some of these off for folks. March 1st, March 6th, the 15th, and the 20th are the next dates. You guys are located at 853 Highland Avenue in Aurora. Did you have a ribbon cutting? I didn't see
we did not have a ribbon cutting, actually. When we did, we had the plan on it. We had a plan to do it, and COVID hit.
Of course. Right?
It was so unfortunate for the responsible vendors in Illinois because we were approved by the state September of 2019 and then had to shut down March of 2020.
Damn.
And so if you're innovative, you come up with other ways. So we started teaching via Zoom.
Okay.
We started teaching webinars, and we actually did an online platform where it's self-paced and allow people to train themselves at home, and they can email us any questions that they have, or they can reach out. We had an open availability for them to reach out during certain hours to get assistance with anything they needed while we were closed.
So here's a question I have for you all right, the laws have been changed. We talked about dosing and how it has to be regulated, even if it's in a pack, the individual pieces, and all that kind of stuff. To your knowledge or in your opinion, are all trainers or responsible trainers or training programs, are all of them alike because they have to follow these certain criteria? I mean, what's your take on, I mean, not the others, kind of thing, but for the most part, is everybody doing it with a different degree of how they're doing it? I know you guys are different and special.
We very special.
I know y'all special.
We very special.
I know y'all special. We're not gonna throw no bones to nobody else. But I'm just wondering because I've seen some similarities.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some similarity. Not that it's a bad thing.
No, it's universal in this state. So when you apply to become a responsible vendor, the state had an application that you must, adhere to. So when you was writing for that approval, you had to use this guideline. So they gave us a tool guide, actually exhibit A, B, C, D, E, all the way down to U.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was pretty lengthy, especially the new round that came on 2021. It was much more that the state required from us than in 2019. So yeah, it's pretty universal. And actually, cannabis education is pretty universal nationwide. What varies from state to state is pretty much the quantities of limitations. That's the amount that people are allowed to carry. Their advertising, whether or not you can advertise using a cannabis leaf or not a cannabis leaf. So in Colorado, you can use a cannabis leaf. In the state of Illinois, you cannot.
You mean in your advertising logo or whatever?
Yeah.
Really?
So you cannot. Yeah. And so a lot of times our people that are on the traditional market or black market, you say, as soon as they decide to create a cannabis business, they immediately use the cannabis leaf.
Oh, of course.
So if they would take
Big
our
Dog's
education,
Greenery.
yes.
Shit.
And if they take our class
Keep
first,
it low.
we can save them a whole lot of money, because when you spend all of this money on packaging and all of this with the improper information, now you're going to end up having to spend more money because you did not know.
Yeah.
So it's really best to get educated first. And it's just a few other things that's different, as varies from state to state. But other than that, this training is pretty universal.
Okay. So how long did it take for you guys to so here's the book though. Let's talk about this book real quick, because I have a question when it comes to the making and infusing and things like that. So here's the book, Cooking with a Twist, Cookbook for Cannabis Infused Meals and Desserts. And if anybody's hungry, listen up closely. Can of butter, baked apple French toast, hot wings, baked mac and cheese with bacon, sweet potato pie, hard candy, and pound cake. Lord, pound cake.
Yes.
I got a pound cake at home right now. Sara Lee, the big one, the frozen one, but then you take it out and just let it get room temperature. Spongy. This is very good.
Yeah, that one is from scratch.
Okay. Oh.
You can make that
Thank
one.
you. And it's autographed. Thank you very much, y'all. Shouts out. So I want to read just a little bit of this. I'm so happy you've decided to explore the Canna way of eating with me. For a very long time, I wanted to share ideas. I felt like a prisoner trapped in mediocrity. I felt like my ideas weren't good enough. Instead of blaming others, I'm taking back my power. The worst mistake I've ever made was not thinking big enough. I like that. That's not just a cannabis infuser motto. That's an everybody thing.
Yes.
Taking back your power. What do you mean by that? You seem like a determined and driven person. Taking back your power?
I mean, we're oppressed in so many ways.
Sure.
Especially being an African American woman in the cannabis industry, where it's, a lot of different things going on and a lot of different changes. And so, yeah, a lot of times, things that you want to do are constantly placed on the back burner because of, different things that roadblocks.
Oh.
For example, when we talk about banking or social media or marketing for cannabis, we hit so many different roadblocks. You can say the word cannabis. Well, let's say Skip can say the word cannabis.
I can't really say it though.
Well. Let's just say you. Let's say you post the word cannabis in Illinois is thriving, and I repost it. I'm gonna get like 30 days in Facebook jail for this.
Wow.
My account will be restricted. And so when that happens, like your ads that you're trying to run to promote your business, you can't run that. You're losing money,
right?
And on being, restricted by these platforms. But you can see a ton of other Facebook ads that's magic butter machine. You can go make you some edibles, throw your weed right in there, and actually demonstrate it.
Right.
And because I see the ads all the time, I'm like, okay,
right.
And that's one of those things that it's like it's restricting us, and our power is, very limited.
That's unfortunate. Excuse me. That's unfortunate. what can be done to stop that, though? Because it's like it seems like laws have changed, and you could do this, but that's a
we got to start off by standing up for ourselves.
Okay.
We went to Springfield. She sent me early into the getting my feet wet in the trenches. In Springfield. No, this is serious.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of lawmakers. It was basically a bunch of corporate companies, and they wanted to basically shut us down. Social equity trainers, responsible vendor trainers.
No, it was just the people who got other licenses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you were a responsible vendor and you also got another cannabis license, they put in some emergency rules to restrict you from being able to do both.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And nobody was down there. I was by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The first thing I told her is, first of all, we gotta have a union or something in this.
Yeah.
Because right now we're just running around like a bunch of misfits, and everybody's representing themselves, and it's like we're fighting the whole army over there.
Right.
I just feel like some of the wrong people had seats at those tables, and they spoke on their interests instead of the interests of the people.
Yeah, that's true.
And
so, things like witness slips, ILGA.gov, ILGA. You can see who wrote a witness slip for what thing that was coming up in the law, and it's all kinds of. I've read some of the witness slips from when cannabis, the early debates before it became. Most of them are law enforcement agencies. Some of them are, all kinds of different stuff. Some of them are individuals who represent organizations who speak on, they speak on organization behalf, not the organization itself. So yeah, there's a lot of, and they have money behind them,
Yes.
large amounts.
Yes. When they were going through the different municipalities legalizing cannabis, there was this group called the Opt-Out Group. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Opt-Out Group had on white tees, and they had a circle around it and a line through that they did not want the municipalities to vote yes for cannabis.
Right.
And it would be about 50 of them at every town hall meeting, and they all got up to speak in regards to why you should not legalize cannabis. And thankfully Aurora still voted yes, to legalize cannabis. But it's like, now what is Aurora going to do to make sure the residents here actually benefit from those businesses that's in this city?
Yeah, there's a few of our aldermen voted yes. And I remember that I asked a couple of them about the yes vote, and they answered it very simple. The tax revenues would benefit Aurora. Bada bing, bada boom. That was it. It was just that simple. And I applaud an easy answer like that, which makes sense for everybody. All right, now we have a training manual. Oh wait, before we do that, you tell us your distinction again. You are the first woman in the state. Drop that off again so
Google
I can write that down.
Google it.
You are Googleable, right? You are Googleable. This autograph will be worth something someday.
Y'all don't have to do that.
It's Googleable, I promise.
It is Googleable.
All right, so I was awarded the first cannabis transportation license in the state of Illinois,
Awesome.
which allows my business to transport cannabis business to business permit.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What a distinction. That's good. All right, now the training manual, volume 2. Let's see here. Oh, it says it on the back. First to be awarded the license approved by the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulations to provide cannabis education. Illinois approved educator, author, Colorado training tours, veteran training, events with the city of Chicago, business compliance consultant. Hell of a resume. What?
We're working.
Congratulations.
We are working,
stuff.
and we hope to do more. And unfortunately, Illinois program was designed in such a way, and businesses have not been properly supported by the state. And so they're working on what they can do to make things better. But us as a people, we have to stop complaining and have solutions. Like,
right.
No one wants to constantly hear you whine. And then we also have to be able to convey exactly what that complaint is. Because a lot of the things that's being said in the industry where they say these are problems that need to be fixed, they're not necessarily problems that need to be fixed, so it's like they're not conveying the message right. And before I talk about all the things that Illinois has done wrong, I would like to acknowledge one thing that they have done right, and that was identifying social equity. In every state that I've gone to, and I work in multiple states, we have seen where there's some confusion when it comes to social equity. People think social equity and diversity are the same thing, and it's not.
Right.
The social equity was identified in Illinois by a person who has been arrested for cannabis or immediate family member that's been arrested for cannabis, people that were impacted by the war on drugs. And also it was identified by demographics, people who live in certain communities. And so that is something that the state actually did well, was actually identifying the group of people that were affected by the war on drugs.
It looks like the state will continue to do things better in regards to cannabis. Am I looking too optimistic right now? I mean, it does seem like it's going good.
Well, it's not going good.
Okay. Completely wrong. See?
It's not going good.
That's all for today, folks.
It's not going good. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. It's a new, fast-growing industry. And so you have to be able to say there are going to be some mistakes. Some people drop the ball in Illinois as it relates to cannabis. And to me, my personal opinion is like social equity applicants were extorted. It was us poor people applying for these licenses, hoping to get support from the state of Illinois, and did not get that. And so now it's like, what do we do next? We go to our local municipalities or our local officials and tell them, hey, we need your support. Social equity applicants were told they were going to get a certain amount of money to support their businesses, not to run their business,
right,
but to support their businesses, right? For example, I have a cannabis transportation license. What people don't know with those licenses is in order for you to purchase a vehicle, your business needs 2 years of credit history. Mm-hmm. So if these people apply for these licenses before, what is it, 2 years? So it's 2022. So yeah, how do you expect their businesses to have 2 years of credit history? So these people probably won't be able to get vehicles unless they already were financially capable of doing that.
Right.
And I remember going into, I purchase vehicles, so I do have some. But we talking about if the average person is making $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and they giving the state of Illinois $10,000 for a license fee. That's a lot of money. $2,500 for an application. That's a lot of money.
Right.
And we are social equity applicants, so it's not saying that we have a whole lot of money.
Right.
So for people to thrive in this industry, to me, the program was a failure, but there's room for improvement. But right now, it's not good for social equity applicants because some people put every dollar they had into those applications and got nothing.
For sure.
If you can hear my voice down there in Springfield, we got news for ya. And we just dropped it to, that's for them. So,
tell me the election coming.
Right, exactly. The time is 8:34. Monica, take me to a commercial real quick so I can deliver a little good news for people. I have the names, as I mentioned to you. I got to give some quick shout outs to all the artists that were down there for First Friday at 1 East Benson, the Document the Abuse show, featuring Norma Peterson and Karen Caputo and many others. Savas Arazebi of Mosaic. She began creating mosaics as a child while in school in Turkey. He learned to appreciate the art form for its historic value and beauty. Karen Caputo, abstract mixed media collage, retired teacher and former florist. Miss Caputo is inspired by nature and enjoys working with a range of media. Elena Castanella. Elena is 11 years old in the 6th grade. Quote, I enjoy the process of creating something. I especially love when I'm done with the sketch and I can start coloring my piece. Good job. Close quote. Nafisa Hussein, drawings from various students. Ms. Hussein is the successful owner and driving force behind Studio Nafisa here in Aurora. Ankh Rickert Koryoff. I'm trying to do these names real good, y'all. Mixed media using photography and memories. Ms. Koryoff's work can be found in many private and corporate collections in the U.S., Europe, and China. Katie Rose Peterson. Katie is 11 years old in the 6th grade. She loves drawing, painting, and all types of art. She says, quote, "My art is inspirational and very colorful. I want to help others know they can express their ideas and feelings too. Don't be afraid to be you because that's all you need to be." Close quote. Good advice. Angela Pregis, abstract mixed media. She lives in Germany and has participated in various exhibits throughout Europe. She strives to portray a visualization of inner life and demonstrates the connection and influence between actions and the unconscious in her work. Lois Schatz, watercolor. Ms. Schatz developed her passion for painting over many years as a China painter. And Shelby Vidmar, a painter. Ms. Vidmar has participated in a variety of art shows and has experience with custom painting. She brings a wealth of experience and creativity and is the owner of Shelby's Strokes of Eternity. Congratulations to all of you great, wonderful people for that great artwork. The time is 8:37 a.m. Yes, give it up. Give it up. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. We're here with ACC of Illinois. Okay. Yeah. So much love, y'all. All the love. All the love. All right. So we mentioned the dates, the upcoming training dates. Besides these, what else you guys got going on? What else is on the calendar? What's new? What's bubbling? What's cooking?
I designed a program. Can you hear me good? Am I loud enough?
No.
Okay. So I designed a program where I was taking social equity applicants from Illinois to Colorado.
Okay.
And they were allowed to go behind the scenes of a dispensary, of a growth facility, of an infusion plant, and they actually were able to learn how business actually operated. Gave them a really inside scoop on what's really goes on behind the scene.
Okay.
And give them a real idea of whether or not they can actually enter this business and thrive. A realistic idea of it. And so because we did not have a lot of support here in Illinois, and a lot of these medical companies are still extremely corporate, whereas when we try to talk to them about different programs and if we can bring people into their facility, they're not very, open to it.
Right.
And the state really needs to identify these people. Like, who is the person we talk to for this, for social equity? Who is the person we speak to for transportation?
Right.
We need to identify them. Other than that, when you contact the business, you're going to get the runaround. So I found maybe 5 or 6 companies in Colorado that allows me to bring people from Illinois into their facilities with me, and they go behind the scenes. Our next tour is February 21st. They're responsible for their own airfare. Right. For more information, they can reach out to us directly, info@accofillinois.com. Or accofillinois@gmail.com, and we can give them info as it regards to that tour. But it lets people go behind the scenes. They see how moon rocks are being made, how pre-rolls is being made. Mm-hmm. They get to see all the good stuff. And, I like for Skip to talk about his first experience on going on a tour with me, because you have to see it for yourself. So when I created this program, it was definitely to give us an opportunity to see, the full scope of this business. So,
Skip, tell us all about it.
So obviously I'm the home grow teacher. So I walked in wanting the cultivation center. Okay. Most people don't realize the cultivation center costs about $100 million once you put the whole thing together.
Wow.
So they was like, don't focus on that. Focus on something else. I was stern on it, like I was on them. So we get into the cultivation center. I get to looking around. I'm like, all right. I can't do this. I can't afford this. I probably got to call my whole phone book to get maybe 2% of the money.
Right. I need Stedman.
Yeah,
Oprah husband
I
or
need
somebody.
stable money. So I had to realize, I had to dump it all the way down and go back to, okay, what's more important? Me growing at this large level or teaching medical patients that actually want to save and budget how to grow at home. Okay. And so from that point forward, that's what we've been focused on and building vision off of.
Good. Now, when you guys do these trips, how many people come?
Oh, so it varies. So we did it last year on 420. Oh my God. I can't even say the number. What I would like to do is keep it down to 15. Okay. To give them the full experience, because it's hard navigating 20 and 30 people through these facilities while people are actually working. Right. You know, without us being on top of each other. And you want to be able to give them a really good experience and be able to talk to different owners, because that's what we also have. The owners come out and they speak to our group, and you get to ask them whatever questions that you have. And I always encourage people, bring a list of questions. If you're serious about getting in this industry, take the training, go on a tour, bring a list of questions, have your questions answered before you dump your entire savings in the industry that is evolving every day. Right. And the rules change every day that you might lose. You know, you don't want to go out here. Everyone came in to, create generational wealth for them families. But the first thing you have to do is educate yourself. And I'm not talking about one training or one this or one that. You have to go out there and seek knowledge. Every day I'm still going out to different states. And this is why I gave Illinois credit for social equity, because I'm helping another state, some legislators, as it relates to their social equity program. And they don't say social equity. They say diversity. Right. They call their program a diversity program. And it's like, no, that's not the case. You have to, the same way you guys were able to identify a group of people, you need to identify them now as it relates to social equity. Right, exactly. And that's a big deal. And so even for me, I'm educating myself in other states. Okay, what could Illinois have done better? What are we doing correctly? And so you got to just continue to do that before you spend any money into going to get your LLC or going to get your packaging. Buying a building, commercial property during a pandemic. How many people you think you about to get in this building right now? And so if you educate yourself and reach out to people who are actually doing it, and don't be intimidated to actually collaborate with others that's doing the same thing as you. Right. I do it all the time. Right. So that no, I do it all the time. I mean, we have a company that we incubated that actually opened their office in Hazelcrest February 15th. They did a ribbon cutting.
Hazelcrest.
Shout out to Sky High.
Y'all way out there.
No, not me. They are. Okay. They are. They went through all of our programs, and we incubated them, and they applied, and they got approved for the state. And not just them, it's several other people who have been approved that we have actually mentored and incubated. It took them through our entire program and assisted them with applying that they got approved by the state of Illinois.
Absolutely wonderful. Good news.
We bringing them in. We putting the whole hood on.
For sure.
Jennifer Ryan Maton, good morning. Maria Chirito, good morning. Michelle says we need to have the federal laws changed. To do that, we need folks to email their lawmakers in support of. Thank you very much for that. Witness slips are important. Norma Peterson, either you are part of the solution or part of the problem.
Absolutely.
I can dig it. Yes, very much so. Very much so. One of the things that has amazed me a little bit, though, is that from the outside looking in, it does seem that the new owners, the powers that be, the quote unquote industry, it seems to me like it's trying to baby step its way with how much diversity and how much equity. It seems like, You let me know I was wrong before. I could be wrong with this one too. But that's what it seems like to me. It seems like they're like, yes, this is an industry that is going to be put. But hold on, we don't want it to be too diverse. We want it to be right. It's like Olive Garden. They just hit you with a couple of sprinkles of diversity. Is that?
I want to tell you how I trained a particular dispensary. And they did not really want me to train them.
I bet.
But they had to be trained because the deadline was approaching. They had to have this training done, I think, by November 30th of 2019.
Okay, right.
And I remember driving out to this rural area, and these people didn't even want me in their dispensary.
What was the name of the dispensary?
I do not want to do that.
All right.
Do you want me to give it to you?
Oh, a brother, a brother threw it out there. You know?
It was Vera Life
in
Ottawa.
In Ottawa, all right.
And they had me train in their lobby. Mm-hmm. They did not want me in their dispensary. Mm-hmm. And it was a cold shoulder. We sat around the table in chairs like this, not classroom style how I would normally train people. And it was a very awkward experience because the participation was low. And I have a background in education, so it's like I'm usually one of those people when I teach a class, I meet my crowd, we do icebreakers and things like that. And it was like this, staring at me. Mm-hmm. And it was a company of 9. It was 9 people that ran that store. Okay. So it was 9 people that were trained, and they were not enthusiastic. They wanted me in and out.
Vera Life in Ottawa.
They were not welcoming of me training their employees. And now that since the pandemic has started, a lot of these companies are getting away with not training their employees. So they're not utilizing our services, even though the state says, this is a required training. Our services are no longer being utilized, and they're utilizing the pandemic as the reason why. And so that's one scenario. Another scenario is some of these dispensaries are hiring people, and they're telling them pay for your own training, and after 90 days you'll be reimbursed for the training. And they get rid of these people right before those 90 days. So now they have spent money to go get a job and don't keep the job long enough because of turnovers.
How janky.
Yeah, Illinois has just been real janky. And then Windy City. I went to Windy City Dispensary on 147th and Midlothian. And that was my first time, February 4th this year. First time going into there. And they had the iPads on the walls for you to place your order, and then you go into a room to a cashier and make your transaction. That was the worst experience ever, because if I put myself in the shoes of a senior, bud tenders usually are really more personable. In Denver, in LA, in Las Vegas, they are, hey, you might like this. No, we just got this in. You might want to try it. Yeah. Hey, so what you looking for today? You want to be up? You want to be down? Right. What you like? You like topicals? You like, how can I get you high? Right.
Basically.
Shout out to Lake Shade in Colorado.
Shout out to Lake Shade.
That was not it at Windy City. I was like, so what if I wanted something else? Well, we do have bud tenders. So to me, it's like they're replacing the jobs that they were supposed to, give us with the iPad kiosks in the hallway. And they're saying, it's because of the pandemic. Right. Yeah. Everything is because of the pandemic. When these companies was operating like this before the pandemic, and it has gotten worse. I don't believe, unless the state of Illinois puts something in place and demand that so many people are hired, from the, disproportionate impacted communities, people who were affected by the war on drugs, you're not going to see us in these dispensaries.
See, that's why I need to be the...
They don't even tell us you need responsible vendors.
I need to be the governor. That's what I need to be. I need to be.
Lord.
You know, like, you know what?
Well, election is coming up, and you know.
I ain't in this one.
I don't really want to play on the political line here, but elections are coming up, and things have the ability to change for those who are currently in office, or if someone new comes to office. In my opinion, Illinois dropped the ball on cannabis. We was extremely excited when we voted JB in and he was signing off on that bill for cannabis. We was excited. We thought that we had a shot. And now we're like,
here we are.
We sitting outside. You remember Tupac talked about the homeless people outside watching the rich people eating the restaurants?
Oh, yeah.
We're sitting outside watching, you know, people make $2 billion in sales in cannabis while we get nothing.
Yeah. I mean, imagine going to jail for something that's legalized and you're still in there. Food for thought. The time is 8:51. Skip.
Yes, sir.
What is your number one? Let's go to food now.
Oh man,
Because I don't know.
I'm a little chubby. I don't like this.
Well, we like food.
Yeah, we love food right here.
What's one of the recipes in here that we have to try? Or do you have any favorites?
You definitely got to do the hard candy.
Hard candy, okay.
You definitely got to try the lollipops and Jolly Ranchers for sure. Just for obviously medicinal purposes.
Okay.
People that want to be calm, don't like the smell, and just like the fruity flavoring. Candy for sure. The chicken wings, gotta do it.
Yeah.
I've done the barbecue wings off the chicken wings.
Okay.
I've infused candy yams, baked beans. I go a little OC with it. But all the
wait till somebody do some greens with it. It's over.
So
you might be talking to
there's
them.
an apple French toast recipe in there that I absolutely love, but I can't make it because like whether it's infused or uninfused, no one is going to eat apple French toast in my house but me.
Okay.
So if anybody happened to make the apple French toast recipe for my book, just give me a call. I want to taste it.
Aisha Saxon is
Make
here.
2.
Make 2? Yes.
What's up, Aisha?
Aisha Saxon is here. Skip, good to see you. Continual blessings to you all. Josue Pais, good morning. Jen Ingram, good morning, all of you guys. I am happy to see all of you wonderful people this morning. Good morning to you, Josue. All right, the apple pie, or excuse me,
Fire.
French toast.
Apple French
toast. Yeah, that's good.
It's so good.
You should go home and make that.
It's a 2-day process to make,
Mm-hmm.
so because you gotta, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then, the next day it's ready to go.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
853 Highland Avenue, and you guys are on. You're on all of the sites. You're on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Facebook and Twitter. ACC of Illinois.
ACC of Illinois. Our job is to put the whole hood on. So come by.
That's right.
Let us help you get into this industry. It's not too late. Things are still going to change. I believe they're going to try to make the process easier for the next round.
Okay.
At least that's what they say. But, we're still at the beginning of this for Illinois. You know, Colorado has been operating way longer. And so I don't want people in Illinois to be discouraged. We just had to go through the turmoils being the first to do it. There's going to be kinks that has to be worked out, and there are some things that we're not happy about, but, we're working to fix those things.
Right.
Like young lady said, you're part of the problem or part of the solution. So we're finding the solutions and we're writing them down, and we plan to present them to whoever our elected officials are. And, to say, hey, maybe this is what we need to do, or can you guys consider this, to make us work collectively with the people who are operating right now.
How can we help you?
Well, one thing.
Word up.
Well, your show is doing great by, giving the information to the people, where the people can go to get training, where the people can go for tours, that helps. Most real social equity companies like mine, we need financial support, and not in the way that people think. A lot of people's like, hey, I want to dump this bag of money on you and run your company. That's not financial support. And so we're talking about true social equity individuals. We don't have anyone with money backing us.
Right.
Everything that we're doing out of our own pockets. And so the state said that they were going to be, giving out low interest loans to social equity applicants. We're just waiting on that to happen, And so that's what we need help. We need help with advertising and to make sure Aurora residents even know that ACC is right here in your town. We get so many people that drive out here from Chicago and from out here from all other south suburban areas. I mean, they're driving an hour away to come see us when it's people that's in our backyards that don't even know we're here.
Yeah, you talked about the place on 147th Midlothian and everything. Like, Berwin's from Harvey. I'm from Harvey too. Like, that's why when you mention that story specifically, because that's Windy City, right?
Yes,
that was the name
Windy
of that place.
City. Mm-hmm.
That's why I kind of harped on the social equity part and the representation part, because I grew up over there. That is not I haven't walked in it yet, but I know. I already know that is not representative of the culture, the community, or the whole ethos. That's not how the water flows over there.
Really horrible experience at Windy City. It was really horrible experience. And I promise you, I was like, I can't even believe we buying from this place. Right. But where else are they gonna buy? Of course, where are the other dispensaries located?
Or around there? Nowhere. Nowhere.
So what other options do they really have?
Yeah.
Dispensary licenses that were awarded this past summer, they still haven't even been issued. They're still caught up in a court battle. So social equity applicants that were awarded dispensary license have not even gotten their foot. They haven't even been able to build or do anything because they have not gotten their licenses.
Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre, who's just a dear friend. Thank you very much for sharing, Michelle Gums. We appreciate that. Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre, who's a dear friend of ours. Lindsay Elise, good morning. She said, big money won't be available until it's federally legal because of banking regulations.
That's not true.
Yeah,
banks and stuff like that.
2.1 billion.
That's not true.
Okay.
So what you guys have to understand is there's a fund that we have to pay into because I paid into this fund. I have a license. Mm-hmm. And that fund is supposed to go to support social equity applicants.
Okay, so you pay into a fund that is there to support the social equity applicants who aren't being supported.
Well, yes. And so in other dispensaries too, there's $83 million in this fund.
Okay.
Right? And the way that the loan was designed for social equity applicants, I believe craft growers were supposed to be able to receive up to $500,000.
Yep.
Dispensaries were supposed to receive up to $250,000. Transporters were supposed to receive $100,000.
Right.
It's $83 million in the fund.
Right.
And only 26 social equity applicant groups applied for these loans. Now the application period to apply closed on September 30th of 2021. And so in the meantime, they have been looking to award licenses. But what I think was really happening, I think that it was delayed by the dispensary applications being held up. And I can be wrong. This is just my personal experience because I spent $50,000 on a cannabis transportation vehicle. I spent $10,000 on a cannabis license.
Right.
And I spent $2,500 on an application fee.
That's somebody's salary.
And so we shouldn't have to wait until they work out these kinks. We were awarded a license. We applied for the loans. You're supposed to get the ball rolling. But what we also heard from the state is that they're short-staffed.
Right.
They don't have a committee that works for social equity. And hopefully in the future they will get some kind of committee together that focus and structure something specifically for social equity applicants. But the money is there. It's $83 million waiting.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Okay. The time is 9 o'clock. Damn, where's the...
Oh my God. Is it?
Damn.
Sure is.
Time, where does the time... Okay. All right. Brother got a Zoom call. Let me see here. Sounds like a GAM fam gather. I must be kind of lost. All right. So I want to say to all of you so thank you very much for coming on the show today. Glad to have y'all. And mega shout outs because we have a lot of the same friends.
For sure.
So, Cruz, Justin Wise, King Bone, the whole squad, everybody out there. All of our parents too. Thank you very much. We got stickers. This is going up. Yes.
For sure.
Official. Thank you very much. And we got autographed books. We appreciate it. So you told us how we can contact you guys on social media and everything. The show ends on a positive note. So what is your message today for the people of Aurora and all the listeners? Just wait for this. Yeah.
I've been waiting for this show from here. We've been waiting on this a long time, y'all. It's cool to have all the bars, but this the next generation. Come visit us at the office. Come get certified. Come get them licenses. Let's do big business.
There you go. All right. Call to business. I like that.
We like sugar and pop.
That's right.
Oh, Lord. He does not stop embarrassing me.
Greatest team to ever do it.
Greatest to ever do it.
I don't want people to get discouraged by it. We have to be truthful, though.
Right.
We don't want to sell you a pipe dream. The state already did that. We have to be truthful. Like this is one of those tedious process, and you have to be fully committed to your prosperity. You have to be.
Right.
You have to educate yourself, and then you have to make sure that you have the proper support in place to support your business. So if you're interested in getting a cannabis business, we're still in the beginning stage of it, and there's still room for you. And hopefully I even see you at the bank or the beaches of the world.
That's right. You will see Good Morning. We're going to be in Aruba one day, y'all.
For sure.
Going live. Like, hey, that's the dude, the skinny guy? Damn, they in Aruba right now? They in Dubai doing the show? Yeah, we live. That reminds me of the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. That is right. Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode today. Thank you guys for coming on the show. We much appreciate it. In the links, when we type it up, you guys know how we do. We'll put the link to ACC, how you can contact them, and check them out on social media as well. And these great books, Cooking with a Twist, Victoria LP presents, and the Training Manual Volume 2, ACC. We appreciate Victoria and Skip for coming on. Take care of yourself and each other.